Okay, so I'm here with Sam Lucas. This is Sam.
How's it going?
We're talking about music libraries. How's your Brighton Music Conference going so far,
It's
Sam?
been beautiful, man. Yeah, the weather's been a bit hit and miss, but today, loving it.
Perfect, isn't it? So you're a DJ. Tell us a bit about yourself, producer.
Yeah, so I'm DJ producer. I've been producing and DJing for about 8 years. Do house and tech house. More recently, I've been DJing a bit of like Glitterbox vibes as well in London. So yeah, loads of fun. Yeah, loving it.
Nice. Where are you from originally?
Kent.
Nice.
So yeah, so about an hour commute into London, so it's not too bad.
Nice. And how long have you been DJing for?
8 years.
Nice. So, did you say that already?
Yeah.
Here we are. Okay, so we're going to talk about music library, music discovery, playlist creation, that kind of stuff.
Awesome.
Start at the beginning. What do you do for your digging, music discovery, all that kind of stuff?
So I find that I've got quite a good New Music Friday playlist that I follow on Spotify. So I just like always check them out first thing on a Friday morning. I'll browse through all of those. Follow like Wes and stuff as well from Defected, so I follow them and I always look through for like the tunes that he's supporting. Digging through SoundCloud, and then sort of related on like not on a Friday, I'll just look through like related artists and see, and then obviously DJ sets, tracklist 1001, which I'm always digging, always looking for the next best tune. So yeah.
Nice. And when it comes to purchasing your music, Beatport,
Beatport, Traxsource, mostly Beatport and Traxsource, yeah. So I use Trax, so like for my disco and stuff, I find that they've got a bit of vibeier stuff on there. So for the bars, Traxsource, yeah.
Right.
So yeah, I like using them for a lot of like the soul and disco and Glitterbox and stuff. And then if I'm playing a club, I'll go more to the Beatport. So yeah.
Nice. And what file formats do you mostly download Beatport? MP3s?
Most. It depends on how big the sound system is that I'm going to be playing on in the venue. So I've played in Ministry Sound in the past. So obviously you're going to play a WAV. But if I'm playing in a bar in London where the sound system's a bit dodgy anyways, like an MP3 from Beatport will be fine.
320 MP3
yeah,
is
exactly.
kind of fine, yeah.
So yeah, it kind of depends where I'm playing.
Yeah, so you do your music discovery, you build do you like stuff in Spotify and then build like a playlist of stuff you might want to download?
I've got 3 different Spotify artist playlists that I just promote and update regularly anyways. So once I've found the best songs on the new Friday, I'll then update my playlist, then update my library to DJ with, and then go from there really. So
and then you go do some purchasing at Beatport or Traxsource.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you downloaded your tracks. Are you importing them straight into your DJ software? Are you
I run straight into Recordbox. Yeah. So in the past I was using Serato, and then recently moved over to Recordbox, and then I'll just put everything straight in there and organise in there.
And have you found the difference, Serato, Recordbox?
I actually really like it. It's a little bit sad, but I feel like the Recordbox it looks more like Apple-y. You know what I mean? It's got a cleaner interface. I mean, that's a really basic, that's not what's the most important function, but I find that it's easier to connect to CDJs with. Obviously, before I was having to keep Serato and Recordbox organised at the same time.
Yep.
So it was like, I'd update Serato, then I'd have to do the same thing in Recordbox, and it was just a bit long. So it was like, well, rather than using Serato, let's just go straight into Recordbox now. It saves me time, and it's just, yeah.
And how much are you using your USB or using laptop? And
again, depends on the venue. So if I'm playing a bar for 5 hours, I'll use my laptop, because if someone wants a request, I can just quickly pop it on. If I'm doing an hour at an event, I'll just run USBs.
And if someone asks for a request, are you downloading it or using Beatport Link, or what you?
Depends how quickly I can do either of those.
Yep.
Depends if I've got Wi-Fi or if I'm hotspotting. Obviously, in the heat of the moment, you're probably just gonna,
find what you can.
So
yeah. And so you get your tracks, you import them into Recordbox, key analysis, metadata. Do you clean up your beat grids and stuff? You check those?
Yeah. I'm quite OCD with all my stuff. I like it all to be, again, I've got the odd track in there where I'll load it up, and it's like, the beat grid's not quite right there, but we move. But yeah, I mean, I like being as organised as I can be, really. Yeah. So
on that, you get the track in, you'll go and check it's the beat grid
kind of
sounds right.
And I'll set some hot cues and stuff as well. So if I like, because I like mixing quite quickly.
Yep.
So I sort of, when I go through and do my hot cues, that's when I'll notice that the beat grid's out, and then I'll just align them up so that when I do any jumping that I need to, then it's.
Do you like jumping from track to track pretty quick?
Yeah. Again, depends on the venue
and the crowd.
And the crowd.
Yeah.
Usually, so if I'm doing like Saturday, I'm playing like a 4-hour set. So I'll sort of vibe it out for leading up to peak time, and then peak time I'll probably play like half a song and just mix like that for the remaining 2 hours, just so that it keeps the dance floor fresh.
Yep.
I find I can play like twice the amount of songs. The dance floor is like, yo, what's going on? This is sick.
Yep.
And yeah, I find it's a bit more effective. So
nice,
yeah.
Nice. And so in terms of your playlist or set creation, curation, have you got something quite in mind? How do you categorize your stuff? Do you build a playlist for each gig?
Yeah, so I've got so I play in like a handful of venues like consistently. So I've got a play like a crate for each venue, and then within there I'll then split it off into genres and subgenres. So I'll have disco, soulful house, vibey house, lounge house, and then
vibey house sounds good.
Oh, it's beautiful, man, it's beautiful. And then I'll have like your old but gold, so like your classics that you bit of like Candy Saturn or exactly stuff like that. And then if I'm playing a club, I'll have Afro house for the start of the night, bit of house, then tech house, and then peak time tech house. I've got like an R&B throwback tech house so that it can sort of get some familiarity in there, and it's not just boots and cats all night. And then again I'll go into like a bit of like just vibey sort of techno-y vibes a little bit sometimes as well.
How often do you play later and want to sort of dial it up a bit? Do you sometimes?
Yeah, so I'll sort of just ramp it up as we go. So it'll be like, we get the vibes rolling, and then once I see a lot of people grooving, crank it up a bit, get it there, and then I'll slowly tail it back off again. So yeah.
Nice. And so in terms of your prep, you're building your set list. Do you keep everything that you've downloaded in sort of categorized outside of your sets, like by day or genre?
My downloads folder is a mess. It's record box where it's nice and tidy, so it's like if everyone looks, wow, this is great. Don't look at my Finder because it's literally just like
tracks and tracks and tracks.
Yeah. Because my file management does need to improve, to be honest. But
have you got files that you haven't yet imported into Recordbox?
No, I'll download and just drag in straight away.
Right.
Yeah.
And so when you're exporting to USB, will you take your whole library? You have your whole library on your USB?
Yeah. So as soon as I've done any updates, I'll just fully sync up my library again. Yeah. Because I like having a replica of, if my laptop goes wrong, my USB is exactly the same. Yeah. And if that USB goes wrong, I've got another USB which is exactly the same as that USB. So yeah.
Have you had any nightmare horror stories with USBs not working or laptops?
I've had a couple of times where so back when I was using Serato with the club kit, it was like some mixers weren't compatible. So the CDJs were connecting to my laptop, but then I was getting no sound output, and it was like, oh man, and I was like, spend like 25 minutes trying to set it up, and it's all right, I've got 5 minutes before I got to play, the USBs are in and crack on. Yeah. So that's as much of a nightmare as it'll be. Back in the day, I was DJing someone back to back, and they were like, I'll bring the decks, you bring the gear, like as in like equipment. So I brought the equipment, set it all up, and he was then stuck in traffic. And the event started, he was like, mate, I'm going to be there an hour late. And I had like this, we were using a master mixer with like really old CDs, and it was like the tiniest screen, and it's like, you couldn't, it was ridiculous. So he was like, mate, you're just going to have to play off of that. So I had like these compilation CDs that were just, a couple years old, threw them in and had to play like that for an hour, which was well in at the deep end, obviously. But the crowd was still, you did what you can, and it was great. So
you've got to do what you can.
Yeah, exactly. I'm big on like having a backup for your backup for your backup.
Well, we had a guy yesterday we were talking to who sold his laptop and formatted it before he sold it, and just after he pressed the format button realized that he hadn't backed up his record box.
Oh no, my god.
He had to re-go and do all his prep.
Oh my god. Yeah. Pretty I do need to run backups, to be fair.
But it sounds like you're pretty careful about.
Yeah. I'm a bit like
And do you tune the metadata and stuff at all? Do you like,
if it's been imported incorrectly, then I will, but I'm pretty much just like, if that's what Recordbox says, that's what it'll be. Right. I know there's a lot of DJs out there that will be, I'll use mixed in key, and I do, and they get proper involved with it. Whereas me, I'm probably not the most overly technical. In terms of my mixing, I'm very technical. Yep. But I'm a big thing on, don't get hung up on the technical if you don't need to, and does it sound good? Yeah. And that's, for me, that's what matters.
The vibe.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's very, I think, like, even in the studio, I found myself getting very into the technical side of things. Yeah. And it's like, well, no, I need to just, don't worry about that for now. Let's just get the vibe down. Yep. And obviously, feel your dance floor, that's the most important thing. So, yeah.
100%. It's all about the vibe.
You know that.
Sam, thank you so much.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, bro. Thank you.
Mate.
Nice one.